Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. Happy Sunday, of course, and it is another Super Sunday, jam-packed, full of action today. And what a better way to get ourselves kicked off with the Sunday's action with, of course, Leeds United versus Chelsea. A little bit of a derby for me here. But it is absolutely what I'm looking forward to. And hopefully it should be a very, very good game. Leeds United, of course, have made quite a few signings this season, have looked depleted, but have made a few signings. And, of course, Chelsea as well. Making their signings as well. My first time seeing Leeds for a little while, thanks to my Huddersfield allegiances. But, like I say, like a little while. And as a result, the Huddersfield inside of me is telling me that Leeds are going to get battered today. And, well, I guess the Chelsea inside of me wants that to be the case as well. But, welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. I do hope you are doing well, and make sure you get loud, get in the chat if you are watching along at home, and as always, do be sure to let us know your score predictions for today's game. It looks like as well there has been a few changes. Conor Gallagher looks like he is starting today, provided he doesn't get injured in the warm-up. Will be starting for his first time this season in a Chelsea shirt, and potentially his first time in his career as well, following that successful loan move to Crystal Palace last season, where he did grab himself 8 goals and 3 assists. But plenty for Chelsea to build on following that disappointing 2-2 draw last time out against Tottenham Hotspur. They will be looking to get back to winning ways and really start their season. A 1-0 win on the opening day against Everton is a bit disappointing if you ask me. And of course that 2-2 draw, we know how disappointing that was from a Chelsea perspective last weekend. And yeah, you were able to see, weren't you? I think you were able to see, I was able to see. You know, you guys saw the dismay and the shock and the upset that I was feeling at that result. But it's a new weekend and, you know, it's early days in the Premier League season. 4 points out of 6. I mean, it's not bad, is it? Considering we've played Everton and Spurs. You would take that at the beginning of the season, wouldn't you? You would most certainly take that. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to this game. And hopefully it can go all right for us. Oliver's in the chat. Afternoon to you, Oliver. Hope you are doing well, mate. Hope you're looking forward to Conor Gallagher playing today, your former hero. And, of course, there's been Flame, who's been in earlier, as well as Fraser as well. So good afternoon to all of you guys watching along at home. We're just watching as well the other game going on at 2 o'clock. Nearly said 3 o'clock then, but 2 o'clock is West Ham United versus Brighton. So be keeping a keen eye on that and trying to keep you up to date, nice and up to date with everything going on across the thing. We do have a poll today in today's chat, so make sure you let us know. You let us know what you're thinking for today's result, whether you're back in Chelsea, whether you're back in Leeds, or you think it'll be a draw, or you're just here because Huddersfield are massive and we want to see Leeds United get absolutely pulped. If that is the case, then that's absolutely fine as well. Let's have a look. Oliver says, I'll be watching him to observe his devious mistakes. Gallagher in a pivot is hilarious. Tuchel's a fraud, says Oliver. So Oliver's already pointed out the fact that it seems to be that, well, it will be that Conor Gallagher will be playing in a slightly different role. We'll have a look at the team lineups. Like I say, I've not looked at them yet. I just know Conor Gallagher is a little bit of the talk of the town. Of course, that was the headline that came out of Sky Sports, being Conor Gallagher is starting today. And I'm excited to see him start. Hopefully he'll get a good 60-70 minutes. And hopefully he can stop the threat in that midfield and dominate in that midfield, because this midfield that he's going to play up against is definitely full of running. Fraser says, hello again. Conor Gallagher at Crystal Palace, greater than Conor Gallagher anywhere else. You've got to at least give him some time, Fraser. You've got to give him some time. I'm sure we'll see the best of him. To be fair, he didn't do bad. Was he at Norwich or was he at West Bromwich Albion? I don't know. I'm kind of forgetting now. I think it was West Brom. I'm just getting PTSD from that greeny yellow kit, which beat us. What was it? I can't even remember the score now. Was it like 5? I don't know. It was 5-1, wasn't it? Or 5-2. But I'm getting distracted. I cannot remember. Right, let's have a look then. We're about, just under 15 minutes away from kickoff here. So let's have a look at the lineups. And here they are on your screens. Hopefully you guys can see these okay. That should be okay. Let me just double check on my phone. You should be able to see them nice and easily. Yeah, that looks all right. But as you can see, these are the teams for today. We'll start ourselves off with the home side, playing at Elland Road, of course, today in Leeds, or in Beeston, should I more likely say. I do know the area now. I did spend 3 months living just round the corner, actually, from Elland Road, so I should probably have more of an allegiance, but university at Huddersfield, so I've got to be a Huddersfield boy through and through. Oliver's saying Gallagher less than Eze. I mean, you're just not telling the truth now, Oliver. I'm sure last season you were saying the other way around. Right, kick ourselves off then with this Jesse Marsh team with Ilham Meslier in goal. You've got Rasmus Christiansen at right back with Robin Koch and Diego Llorente in defence with Pascal Struijk at left back. Tyler Adams and Mark Rocker are the defensive midfielders. Then you get to a more familiar attack with Dan James, Jack Harrison, and then you've got Brendan Aronson, who was a bit of the talk of the time as well, having made a big move, one of the Americans to have made a big move to Leeds United for a big amount of money, and of course Rodrigo as well up front, the captain for today. I mean, that seems a little bit strange, but I don't know who else I would pick other than Rodrigo, to be honest. Maybe Meslier, I don't know. I prefer to have my captains as defenders or midfielders, someone who can see everything that is going on. I guess he can, Rodrigo, because he'll just be looking backwards all the time, as I'm sure Chelsea will be dictating play for today. But as you can see there's been quite a few variants of how well some of these players have played. Rodrigo did score a couple of goals the other weekend, if I do remember correctly. He did score a couple of goals the other weekend, which obviously will be... They'll be filled with confidence with that as a result. As last season, when Rafinha wasn't scoring, Leeds United looked a little bit flat, and obviously they didn't have Bamford's regular goals that they would rely on usually, and so yeah, that is a great confidence booster for Rodrigo, and of course Leeds United as well. But that is the Leeds United team, looking like a 4-2-3-1. And Footy Fan Club, I'm assuming that is Josh. He says, "Come on, Leeds. Leeds United 1, Chelsea 0 is Josh Wilco's score prediction. Stuart Dallas isn't playing today, so I don't know if it's going to be 1-0, if I'm honest with you. But to be fair, the last 2 times Leeds United and Chelsea have played, they've been very, very competitive games. Just have a look at the bench. Is there any players that I personally know of? Of course, Matthias Klick, Adam Forshaw. Excuse me. Then you've got Sinisteria, don't know how you pronounce that one, Sam Greenwood, and of course Joe Gelhardt as well. Joe Gelhardt, and look at that injury list already. How are we 2 games into the season and this is still their injury list? That is a big concern for Leeds United, a huge concern in fact for Leeds United. Luke Ayling, Stuart Dallas, Junior Firpo, Patrick Bamford, Liam Cooper, and of course Joe Gelhardt, who's just returning onto the bench today. That is a little bit concerning, but I do think where the game will be won or lost today will be in that midfield. I've just seen Oliver put Adams to pocket. I'm assuming that's Gallagher. But I do think that's where the battle will be won or lost today, and I've yet to see this Chelsea midfield, so you're going to see it when I see it as well. So let's get ourselves underway, and that away kit looks a bit strange on there, but there are a couple of changes for Chelsea to be made today. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, though, is going to retain his spot. Let's start ourselves off in goal as usual. Edouard Mendy, nothing to talk about. Kalidou Koulibaly. Every time I say that, I can only think of Mark Goldbridge saying Kalidou Koulibaly. He defends against Aguero and Vardy, something like that. But Kalidou Koulibaly, Thiago Silva and Reece James. Like I say, no surprises there, really. Mark Cucurella starting on that left-hand side as well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who had a half-decent game, to be honest with you, last time out. I do believe I gave him man of the match, so I may have undersold him there. I can't quite remember if I did give him it, but I remember being impressed with the performance of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And yeah, so defensively, Chelsea have looked okay, but it's this midfield where Chelsea is struggling. And I'm surprised we haven't seen Kovacic. I don't know if Kovacic is still injured, whether he's not come back yet. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick scan before I look like an idiot. He is still out, so there's my answer. And it's probably why, as well, the likes of Conor Gallagher are getting a chance in midfield. Interested to see, though, if it is Conor Gallagher or if it is Loftus-Cheek starting in central midfield. I do think Loftus-Cheek will probably start in that right wing-back role, but it depends if Conor Gallagher's getting a little bit bombarded. Loftus-Cheek can come inside and use that physical presence that he does have. And obviously Conor Gallagher does come in this week for N'Golo Kante, who looked like he pulled a muscle. He did look like he pulled a muscle. Against Spurs, he just literally went down holding his calf, and I mean that was it. That was it, wasn't it? Really, that was literally it. Jorginho, like I mentioned, who is the captain for today, and then Marc Cucurella capping off that midfield. Chelsea with a 2-year older team as well, and then quite surprising actually, because a few of these players are quite young. But then you've got Mason Mount, of course, starting in one of those attacking midfield roles with Raheem Sterling and, of course, Kai Havertz starting through the middle. The front three at the moment and the midfield is kind of, well, the whole team is kind of choosing itself at the minute because Chelsea's squad depth, because of a few injuries, is depleted massively. And, of course, Chelsea only have one striker. The problem's going to be when Kai Havertz gets injured, then where is that out ball? Who are we playing the ball to? And I guess it'll be Armando Broja who then has to step up for Chelsea and fill in that gap. But we're yet to really see him play too many minutes in a Chelsea shirt. Josh says, we'll be just fine. We just need a striker and a left-back, possibly another midfielder. So you need a whole team. Is that what you're telling me, Josh? Is that what you're telling me? And midfielder / centre back, right? So you need a whole defence. Nice, you need a whole team, Josh. Is that what you're telling me? Let's have a look at the Chelsea bench as well. Kepa Arrizabalaga, Trevor Chalobah does go on the bench despite rumours of him leaving. Cesar Azpilicueta as well, who hasn't featured since. He didn't start last game, but he did start on the opening day of the season. Ethan Ampadu, Carney Chukwuemeka, if I've pronounced that one correctly, new signing from Aston Villa. Ben Chilwell, Callum Hudson-Odoi, who again is another player looking to push for a move out. Hakim Ziyech, who looked like he was going to go, and Christian Pulisic. And the missing players are Marcus Alonso, Mateo Kovacic, and N'Golo Kante. Of course, Marcus Alonso wanting to find a way to get himself to Barcelona. I don't know why you would want to, but he does. And so that is the team for today. Let's just have a quick gander at the table if it's going to be down here at the bottom. There are your channels for you, and here we are. Here is the table. So Arsenal make it 3 from 3. Only Manchester City can match them if they get a result later this afternoon. And at the moment, Arsenal looking very, very strong. Spurs, of course, picked up another win as well to take them on to 7 points. Fulham find themselves on 6 points. They'll be a little bit disappointed, though, Fulham will, the fact that they conceded 2 goals from a 2-0 up position, but they still managed to get themselves the win, so who cares really? And Chelsea and Leeds both yet to lose, so could we be seeing a first loss for either of these teams today? Most likely, yes. And then as you cast your eyes down to the bottom, that's what you want to see, isn't it? Manchester United, despite Manchester United right at the bottom of the table with West Ham. And West Ham will be wanting to take themselves away from that meme at the bottom of the table. Right, let's go back to the live screen. Get your score predictions in, ladies and gents. I am going with 3-1 to the Chelsea. Actually, 3-0 to the Chelsea. That's what we're going with. 3-0 to Chelsea today. So that is my score prediction. Let me just angle this camera just a little bit better so you don't get quite as much of that wall. There we are. You can see my Mason Mount shirt in the mirror as well. Nice. You can get double angles of me, or I can just speak to you through here. Hello. I don't know why I would do that, but there we are. Can't imagine that being too helpful. But let us know your score predictions then, ladies and gents. Let us know, and then we can get ourselves underway for this game. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are as well. If you haven't already, do be sure to smash that like button for us. We're going to try to get ourselves for 15 likes again. I think we just missed out on it on the last stream. So if we could get ourselves there, that would be absolutely fantastic. And do be sure to subscribe as well as we keep on rolling on towards that 1,000. Slowly but surely, we will get to 1,000 subscribers. I believe in us. I believe in us. It won't be for my birthday, but who knows? Maybe by the end of the year, we might be able to get ourselves to 1,000 subscribers. Get ourselves to 1,000 subscribers. Right, we're a couple of moments away from kicking off. Chelsea playing in their away kit, and Leeds, of course, playing in their regular white kit. But to be fair, that Leeds kit, I hate to say it, even though there's a Leeds United badge on there, is actually quite nice. Afternoon to Batman, who says Chelsea 2, Leeds 0, Sterling and Cucurella to score. So we've even come in with score predictions. Going to look like a genius there if that is correct. And yeah, so I'm going 3-0. Batman's going 2-0. There we are. I'm trying to just adjust this here for us. Oh, hopefully there's not quite as much drama. Hopefully there isn't. That being said, I did manage to get on, I can't remember which page it is, but someone decided to put me in a reaction video. So thank you to that person. Thank you to that person. If they end up watching this, thank you to you for putting me in your reaction video. It was with like Chelsea Fan TV and quite a few big ones. So it was a bit weird for me to be in there. Someone with 700 subscribers against someone with 140,000, but right, both teams 1-1 and draw 1 so far. Let's see who gets themselves underway the quickest today. At Elland Road, it looks absolutely packed. I'm sure Leeds is absolutely rammed at the moment. The traffic around in Leeds is unbelievable when the football is on. There was a few times last year where I was like, oh my God, I forgot Leeds were playing. And it's just absolutely chocker. But we are underway. There we are. Get ourselves underway in this first half, and I'm hoping for a good game from Chelsea today. I don't want any of those frustrations. I really don't want any of those frustrations. Bamford isn't playing. He is still injured at the moment. He's been a little bit unlucky with injuries. He keeps failing medicals and then he'll pick up another injury, that kind of thing. Patrick Bamford, that's a good play from Chelsea initially, and that's going to be a nice ball from Conor Gallagher to find Raheem Sterling. Sterling's going to cut in on his right foot. Can he unleash? Sterling! Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be the dream start for Raheem Sterling. I thought that was going to be the dream start. It's a great ball. It comes from Conor Gallagher. Nice pass in between Cucurella and Koulibaly. They find Conor Gallagher. Sterling cuts inside on that right foot, sits one down and nearly bends that one into the far post. That was a good effort from Chelsea. Great football down that left-hand side, and hopefully a sign of intent from Chelsea Football Club of what they're all about this afternoon. Hopefully a sign of intent. Afternoon to BL Football Talks as well. And Fraser is just popping back in and out. Want that Phillips, £0. He's literally trying to get rid of him. But yes, Bamford is... What was I saying? Bamford is injured. He keeps, unfortunately, failing medicals, which is a bit of a pain if you are a Leeds fan. Jorginho nicks the ball back once again. Has he been flattened there by Dan James? He has been, apparently. I'm not sure there was too much in that. It was a little bit clumsy. Sorry, that was Rodrigo who just got his elbows out. I do have notifications on, so if I look at my watch, that is why, to try and keep you guys as up to date as possible as well with the West Ham game. Voice crack game. What was I going to say? But do be sure as well, if you haven't joined the Fantasy Football League, there is the code in the description, and it is also scrolling across the bottom of your screen. 40 of us in there now, guys, which is ace. We've gained another 10 this year. We'll just keep on doing that, I think. Gaining a few more each year sounds good to me. Leeds just trying to attack there, but just couldn't quite get through. Decent defensive play. Lovely little flick over by Mason Mount, but apparently it was a foul. Let's see how Chelsea set up though. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, of course, looks like he'll be starting off that right wing-back role. I'll have to see when we're actually in the game, see what position he sort of picks up. Same with Conor Gallagher and Jorginho as well, actually. See where they pick up. But Thomas Tuchel typically, as we all know, plays a 3-4-3. Sorry, not 4-3-3. That would have been lying. I'm in Ninja Warrior. Nice one, Shrafter. Hope you're doing all right, mate. First game of the season for you, I think, Shrafter. I don't remember seeing you in. But hopefully you're looking forward to this season. And as we haven't done a predictions video on my channel, do let us know who you think's going to win the Premier League this season. That's nicked back off the Chelsea defenders. And I tell you what, that was not worth your time, Dan James. That was not worth your time. You should not have shot there. He just nicked it back off, I don't know who it was. It might have been Reece James there. And he just nicked it off him and looked to take a split-second shot. And to be honest with you, that might be it. That ball might have ended up in Huddersfield. He hit it that high and that wide, and that not at all handsome whatsoever from Dan James. Both sides looking like they're starting with the grit between their teeth. And that's a well-won back there from Aronson. He's going to roll it into Dan James once again. Tyler Adams. And into Harrison and straight into the hands of the keeper there. It took a while for Jack Harrison to take his shot. He was a little bit unsure of what he was going to do there, Jack Harrison. Put in on that right foot, and then he sort of caught in two minds a little bit. But the press from Leeds United so far has been really, really good and really strong, trying to keep Chelsea in this opening 5 minutes. But Chelsea pretty press-proof themselves. Here's Havertz into Raheem Sterling down this left-hand side. Has support. Good feet from Sterling. Flick round the corner. Reece James! Can he cut in? Reece James! Oh, he's blocked. Oh, that was so unlucky. Sorry, it was Loftus-Cheek. It was that familiar of a position for Reece James. I just assumed it was Reece James. It wasn't. It was Loftus-Cheek. It was Mount with the great work in the first place, I think it was. Or was it Havertz? I think it was Havertz, actually. Havertz into Sterling, into Mount. Then Mount manages to find the right wing back. And, oh, I thought he was going to unleash straight away there. I thought he was going to unleash straight away. I think if it had been Reece James, we would have seen an unleashing of that right foot that we know is so powerful. But Loftus-Cheek just got the ball caught under him a little bit. It's going to be a Chelsea corner. Mason Mount whips that one in. It's cleared at the front post. Comes all the way out to Conor Gallagher, the number 23 for today. Cucurella knocks it down the line there, and that'll go out for a Leeds United keeper. But a great start from Chelsea and a good start as well from Leeds United. Both sides looking like they are up for this game. Afternoon, Wiki. How are we doing, mate? Hope you're doing all right. I'm sure you enjoyed watching Arsenal yesterday, so I'm sure you're more than all right. Leeds running a dangerous life there. I think that was Koch there who was running that a little bit close to the line. Strauch's gone down there after a collision with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Not quite sure how much was in that. Oh, Chelsea are in the blue kit. I've just noticed that. I said earlier they were away kit. Must have meant their blue kit. I'm not sure there was too much in that on Pascal Strauch. But, I mean, there is a bit of an elbow. I don't think Loftus-Cheek means it whatsoever. I think the referee's made the right decision as well there, not to book Loftus-Cheek. Otherwise, you put yourself in a predicament. You know, it's early on in the game. People still trying to find their feet in the game. On that occasion, there's not much in it. It's not malicious. Strauch's not ended up too badly injured. Why put him in the book? That is always the question. I'm good watching my team play good stuff, control the game for 90 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm hoping for today from Chelsea. I'm hoping for an impressive result myself, and hopefully just rebuild a little bit of confidence after that poor attitude and that poor performance, particularly in that second half against Spurs last weekend. Although Meslier's clearance there wasn't good, but Tyler Adams wins the ball back for Leeds. It's given away again, though. Sterling tries to turn, looking for the feet of Havertz, who looks maybe a little bit astray at the moment, a little bit isolated up front. Mount trying to put on a press. Leeds pretty press-proof themselves. I said earlier, Chelsea are very press-proof. Leeds are as well. I'm trying to remember the right back's name for Leeds United. I cannot remember. I do believe he's just signed. It's Christiansen. Rasmus Christiansen, I do believe, if I've got this correct, he might have just signed for Leeds United, and he has. There's an opportunity to counter-attack here, though. Is that going to find its way through to Dan James? Not quite from Aronson. That was really good feet, though, by Rower. Good feet by Jack Harrison, who whips in that cross there, and that's had to be parried out. It might fall to the edge of the box. It does fall to the edge of the box. Jack Harrison, can he get back on it again? No, it's fallen to Mason Mount this time, and Mount looks to unleash Raheem Sterling. Sterling, can he put the burners on? Not quite either. Both sides just turning over possession quite quickly at the moment. Here's Aronson again. Great turn from him. Koulibaly is going to foul him. That was tactical defending there from Koulibaly, and Koulibaly is going to find himself in the butt. The referee's not pleased with Aronson, though, for that reaction. Gobbing off at the referee. Really, really not pleased. Of course, Koulibaly was going to do that, pulling his shirt, making sure he won't go in anywhere, because the pass to Dan James looked like it would be on. What's Wiki said? We'll see if Chelsea finish their dinner today. Exactly, Wiki. They didn't do it last week, did they? They definitely didn't do it last week, and it's a little bit disappointing, isn't it? Poor pass from Mount, to be honest. Yeah, I think he's just overhit that one just a little bit as he tried to unleash Raheem the Dream. And Fraser says, if you don't like Sam, won't give you a cookie. If you do like, I might give you a cookie, but if you don't, I definitely won't. That's the way to sell it. Here comes a free kick from Leeds United, whipped in by Jack Harrison, headed clear though by the Chelsea defenders. I think there was Kai Havertz in there trying to do his defensive duty. Havertz just putting a bit of a press on Tyler Adams here. Leeds trying to just slow the play down a little bit. It's been a fast and furious 10 minutes. This is a really, really sort of intense start to this game, and as we saw, last season, wasn't it, when we watched Chelsea and Leeds play last season, both sides could score, and there was a lot of drama in that, so maybe a few leftover feelings despite the change in manager. Oh, Cucurella, lovely play on that left hand side, but he's given the ball away there. Conor Gallagher tries to get it, and the referee eventually pulls it back for the first foul, I do believe, on Cucurella. But it was a lovely touch to get himself away from the Leeds United defender. I think it was Dan James just overly sold himself, really overly sold himself, and Cucurella with just one heavy touch just knocked him straight past it there. Left him behind, Cucurella most certainly did. Reece James, good defending there from Reece James, plays it off. Harrison gets his team a goal kick. Reece James is going to be so vital today. 100% he's going to be vital, and it's a shame that Chelsea have to rely on their defenders, but those three defenders are going to be our top goal scorers this season. I can tell you again, we're going to end up with Reece James as our top goal scorer, Mount with the top assister from getting all the corners, and we're going to end up same story as always. Thiago Silva finds Conor Gallagher, who rolls it into Kalidou Koulibaly. Here's Sterling into Gallagher, who just wasn't quite sharp enough there. Aronson wins the ball back into Tyler Adams, who's given the ball away again. The press is so high for both teams here. Conor Gallagher's going to try to take this free kick quickly. He might have overhit that just slightly. Keeps it on nicely there, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and that is definitely the right ball. I think he's just slightly overhit that one, Conor Gallagher, but Chelsea do win a throw-in. Strout played the ball off Loftus-Cheek. Here's the throw-in into Kai Havertz. He's got a few men around him here. Loftus-Cheek gives the ball away, and Leeds might be able to hit on the counter-attack themselves. Tyler Adams flicks one forward. Headed clear, though, by Reece James. Tyler Adams once again into the feet of Rodrigo, who's trying to look and trying to turn, trying to look for Jack Harrison there. Can Chelsea get a touch on it? This is very hectic, I must say. Very hectic thus far. Chelsea keep on putting themselves under pressure with these awful passes. Gallagher should be sent out on loan or sold with a buyback. He's not made for a pivot. His passing isn't good enough for that. Oh, we'll see today. I've not seen him in this formation before. Down the line there, looking for Havertz, but Havertz is offside. Yeah, I think the only way though that Conor Gallagher gets in a team is if you play with three across midfield and you play him as more of a typical 8. That is the only way that I can see Conor Gallagher working, but that would obviously involve either playing a 5-3-2 or moving to a 4-3-3 and having Reece James, Cucurella, Ben Chilwell, you're more than likely going to actually go, you know what, we're going to play you as wing-backs rather than playing you as traditional full-backs. But to be fair, we're probably more likely now to play 4 at the back, because now that we've got Koulibaly and Thiago Silva, in theory, we don't really have enough wing-backs to play that, and we don't have enough centre-halves. So it might work. It might work. I don't know how he's offside there, Wiki. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I really don't know how he's offside. It's part of the problem with Chelsea at the moment. Afternoon to Ian, who I'm assuming has accidentally mistyped there as he's joined. But afternoon to you, Ian. Hope you're okay. Jorginho heads one forward, looking for Sterling, who still had the best opportunity so far. Coming inside 30 seconds as well for Raheem Sterling. That would have been a dream start for Chelsea. Had that found the back of the net, had that rippled the net just inside a minute. Leeds United trying to play their way out, but they've had to go long. Chelsea are keeping nice and compact, defending well at the moment in terms of their press. Cucurella's won that ball back, and that's gone over the top to Raheem Sterling. Sterling bearing down on goal. Can he look up? Can he see Mount? He's gone himself, Sterling! Oh, he's offside. Why wait with the flag, man? Why wait with the flag? It's very close, to be fair. I can let him off on that one. But if you thought he was offside in the first place, it's a sensational little finish from Raheem Sterling. Good feet. I thought he should have passed to Mount, to be honest. Good feet, but wasn't to be. Wasn't to be. Oh, God. Oh, sorry, Lent on my phone. No worries, Ian. No worries. Afternoon to Tom as well. He's going to finish 2-0 to Chelsea. I've gone 3-0 today, Tom. I've gone 3-0. Hoping for a good result. But Sterling there, great finish, good feet. I thought he should have maybe passed it to Mason Mount, if I'm honest with you. If that occasion falls again. Here's Havertz drifting into some space. He should have passed that one as well. I think Sterling should have passed. I know it was a good finish, and obviously, if that position were to come up again, I wouldn't try the shots. That's just me, though. Every time Sterling plays, he sees he's at least 3 levels above the other players. Yeah, I mean, he's a very good player, Raheem Sterling. And that finish there and the movement there and the good feet showed it. He's very much a player who works well in different formations as well, isn't he? It depends on the setup. Oh, Chelsea give the ball away there. Good flip from Aronson. Is that going to find Dan James, who drops it back to Tyler Adams? Tyler Adams into Rocker. There's a lot of new signings in this Leeds United team as Koch rolls it into Adams. Goes back out wide. Aronson tries to pull that one back, and Kalidou Koulibaly eventually gets the clearance out, but not only at the expense of a throw-in. This has been a very, very interesting start so far. Both teams looking like they can push forward and they can get goals. Here is Jack Harrison off this left-hand side. He's going to try get his way past Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He'll probably fancy himself with Loftus-Cheek not being a traditional wing-back in the sense. Adams. Strauch. Good football here from Leeds, but that pass from Rocker is just a little bit wayward and Jack Harrison can't quite get onto it. Thiago Silva into Jorginho, whose back pass was a little bit too hard there for where it looked like it was intended, but managed to get its way back to Edouard Mendy. Cucurella finds the feet of Raheem Sterling. Conor Gallagher turns out and rolls it back to Edouard Mendy. Chelsea do look confident as Mendy skips by Dan James there. Chelsea are playing it a little bit risky here as they try and get their way out, and they've given the ball away here thanks to Conor Gallagher. Here is Rodrigo into Rocker. Good play from Leeds there, but they've given the the ball away. That final pass for Leeds United just isn't quite being found yet. Sterling finds Havertz. And for some reason, they've given the offside from a minute ago, even though Chelsea were on the break. I don't understand. I don't understand why you wouldn't just play on. But they've given it. Chelsea looked like they were going to counter-attack there. I'm not going to lie to you. Could have been a good opportunity with Havertz leading the line. Same thing with Jesus. He's a proper world-class player. I think Jesus, the problem is when you go in that Manchester City side, you go from being a good player to an average player. And then when you come out of the City side, I think we've seen it with Jesus and even Zinchenko as well, that actually these are very talented footballers. But when you're in a system that has Kevin De Bruyne and they'll bring a £50 million fullback off the bench, you just look bang average. And I'm sure we'll see that with Sterling and the likes of Jesus, Zinchenko, anyone else who leaves during this period of time. Cucurella looks for the feet of Sterling there. You know, to stand out in that Manchester City side, you've got to put in performances like De Bruyne does every single week. And some of these players, they're fantastic players, but they're not quite as consistent, and they don't do the eye-catching through balls that Kevin De Bruyne does, and so as a result they look a little bit distant as Koulibaly tries to look forward for a pass into Havertz, but he's just played that one wide. Kalidou Koulibaly in a Chelsea shirt looks absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to lie, looks absolutely fantastic. I honestly didn't think we'd get him. When I saw we were linked, it's one of them where it's like, oh, you're never going to get him. It was almost like when Varane joined United, everyone was like, what? How have you managed to do that? Just hopefully Koulibaly works out a little bit better than Rafa Varane has. Although that Casemiro deal does look like it's going to be a good one for Manchester United. Fraser says there's been a penalty to Brighton in the West Ham game. Looks like West Ham's woes are continuing. That was a good counter-attack there. It was Rodrigo. The finish wasn't quite good enough as he was bearing down on the goal. It was Koch who played it into Aronson, flicked it into Tyler Adams. Adams' pass was deflected over the top. Rodrigo might have been offside initially anyway, but he's pulled it and he's snatched it wide. John Slynn, afternoon to you. He says Conor Gallagher struggling a little bit, it looks like. Not sure if he's good at dealing with the pressure in a deep role. I think I would agree with you there, John. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I think I'd agree with you. At the moment, of course, he'll build with confidence as the game goes on. And in this formation, he will build the confidence. And he doesn't look like overly underconfident, if you will. He just looks like he's everyone else is doing everything. Say if everyone's doing it at 80 mile an hour, Conor Gallagher's doing it at 100 mile an hour, and he's just feeling the pressure just a little bit, and he's trying to do everything correctly. He's not trying to be fancy or anything like that. He's trying to do the basics, but he's just rushing himself through it. He is just rushing himself through it. And Brighton have made it 1-0, so I'm assuming that is from that penalty as well, as Kalidou Koulibaly might walk himself into a bit of a problem here. He's done well actually to play that one off Aronson. VAR was checking it, that's why, says Fraser. The system is king with Pep. Grealish is feeling it now. Pep wants everything to keep ticking as opposed to individual moments. Exactly. That's a good flick on from Kai Havertz. Here is Mason Mount. Mason Mount, he's got Havertz out wide, but he's going to cut in on that left foot. It's a good save by Illan Meslier. A really, really good save by Illan Meslier there. I didn't know where Mason Mount was going to go with that strike, so I can't imagine Meslier really knew. As he cut in on that left foot, I'm surprised he didn't go towards Havertz, but it squeezed through a body. Has to react late there, Illan Meslier, and it's a good little save to poke that one behind for a Chelsea corner. It's a really, really good save there. Credit where credit's due to the young French goalkeeper. He's done very, very well there to get himself down, and I'll check the Brighton goal scorer after this corner. Let's have a look. It's going to be whipped in this corner from Mason Mount, looking towards the head of Koulibaly. It's headed though clear before it can get to him by Robin Koch. Here is Mason Mount once again. Reece James finds Cucurella. We'll just quite check who is the goal scorer. It is Alexis McAllister from the penalty spot, who has scored for Brighton. Mount didn't hit it the cleanest. His shot against Tottenham was god awful. I can't even remember it. I've probably blanked it out of my mind, Wiki. I've probably blanked it out of my mind. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm trying to think now. I genuinely cannot think of Mason Mount's shot against Spurs, but I imagine it wasn't good. The work rate is still unmatched, though, from Mason Mount in comparison to a lot of these Chelsea attackers. I think that's why Thomas Tuchel loves him so much, is, you know, even if he doesn't play overly well, he's at least going to put a shift in defensively, and you'll get a decent shift and you'll get a decent press, which makes life a lot harder for the teams that you're coming up against. Gallagher pass was to no one. Classic Conor Gallagher at the moment. 22 minutes in. Just needs to calm himself down just a little bit. That's a good throw in there from Chelsea. Really good, intelligent play by Mason Mount. Mount down this left-hand side. He doesn't have a left foot, though. That might find its way to Mason Mount. Cucurella now tries to get the ball away from the Leeds defenders, but they did quite well to defend that in the first place. Clever throw in there from Chelsea, using the most of the offside rule not being in play from a throw-in. It was a good run from Mason Mount, intelligent run to cut across from that right-hand side onto the left. Cucurella takes the next throw-in for Chelsea. Here's Conor Gallagher trying to get away from Tyler Adams, but he was just squeezed out there by Dan James and Tyler Adams. Cucurella finds Havertz. Havertz, can he look up? Can he make the right pass? And the answer to that one is no, as he rolls that one out for a Leeds United throw-in. Doesn't matter if you put in a shift if you can't get in the game. Yeah, but I feel like Mason Mount has a lot of defensive priorities, and he does stuff that maybe we don't see in terms of defensive output. You know, he will stop a defensive midfielder. He will move around with them. He'll put the press on. He'll lead the line with the press. So when someone like a Kante nicks it back, it's because Mount was put on the press. It's got a bit sloppy. Kante nicks the ball. And so that's the kind of thing which Mason Mount really thrives at. It's almost like with Thiago, he gets the assist before the assist. It's kind of like that. So he doesn't get all of the glory because... I hope that makes sense. He doesn't get all of the glory because he's not the one nicking the ball back every time, but he starts the press and narrows them down into a position where they give the ball away to your Kantes, your Jorginhos, your Reece Jameses. Don't know why we've just retaken that free kick there. He was anonymous against Everton, and I don't really remember him against Spurs, apart from his effort to hit a satellite. And to be fair, I didn't watch the Everton game, so I can't really comment on that one. But against Spurs last weekend, he was quiet for the most part as well. But to be honest, it wasn't a great Chelsea performance, as Koulibaly looks long there for Raheem Sterling. Good strength from Sterling to try and get himself away from Robin Koch, and Koch's giving the ball back to Cucurella. Cucurella tries to pull it across the box again, looking for Raheem Sterling. Sterling definitely started the brightest out of the Chelsea attackers so far, and here's Conor Gallagher down the left-hand side, trying to wiggle a bit of room himself here. He's battling and battling, trying to get himself something, and... I don't think he has. No, he hasn't. He's not got himself anything there, Conor Gallagher, after battling hard, trying to play the ball off Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams just laughing a little bit. "You don't know who I am, dog. You don't know where I'm from, dog," says Tyler Adams. You know, that's just going to be the Americans now, isn't it? I can't believe Clint Dempsey said that to Micah Richards. "You don't know where I'm from, dog." God. Quite a few Americans, though, finding their way into the Premier League at the moment. Good to see. Good to see the development of the sport finally coming into fruition. Good play there from Thiago Silva into the feet of Kai Havertz. Reece James, who just swapped places momentarily with Jorginho. Raheem Sterling misses the pass, but it finds its way through to Cucurella. Leeds' manager, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Jesse Marsch is American as well. We don't know where he's from, dog. We don't know. James. Ruben Loftus-Cheek down this right-hand side into Havertz. The pass was a bit pants there, really, and Havertz had almost switched off there. Wasn't expecting the ball to go forward and through to him. Conor Gallagher, good defensive play there. Thought that was just going to fall to Dan James there as it dropped back towards the halfway line. Here's Cucurella into Conor Gallagher once again, who's given the ball away, has he? No, fortunately, Reece James was switched on that time, but it was a little bit of a short pass. Sorry, that was Thiago Silva who was switched on that time. I did wonder why he looked a bit slow. You don't think that was a great performance? I thought you were at your best. That was your best performance in a while. But because you can't finish, you let Spurs into the game. Teams will gain confidence from that. I mean, the first half was a fantastic half, Wiki, but the second half just wasn't good enough. Fundamentally, and I'll say it again, I said it last week, the problem with Chelsea last week, and the problem with Chelsea has been over the last year, has been a lack of confidence from Chelsea, and almost being overconfident. Not a lack of confidence, but overconfident, and not having the right attitude. When they thought that Bentancur had fouled Havertz, which I don't think he did, when they thought that, oh, great turn there from Thiago Silva, so smooth, they should have just knuckled down, deal with it when the ball goes out of play, look, go, oh, ref. But, you know, they weren't going to turn it round then. They weren't going to turn it round. The ref said play on. VAR aren't going to check it. You're going to play on. Unless they think it's a red card, they're going to play on. And that's the problem. In that second half, we just looked like we were cruising half the time. We really did. We looked like we were cruising. And the attitude just wasn't good enough. And so, whilst the football might have been good, attitude is fundamentally what you need to improve if you want to improve as a team. Leeds United corner here then. 28 minutes on the clock. Just about to roll up to the 29th minute. It's going to be whipped in by Aronson, this corner. It's headed by, I believe that was Strauch, and that's going straight over. Sorry, it was Koch who manages to get his head on that one. It was a decent header, to be fair. It just looped up, and when Mendy's 6'4", 6'5", it's got to be a bit more powerful than that. Got to be like a prime John Terry leaping up for a header if you're going to beat Edouard Mendy with a header from a corner, particularly. Here's Koulibaly once again. Switches the play to Loftus-Cheek. Good touch there into Jorginho. Thought he just underplayed the ball there. Jorginho finds Mount, who tries to flick it round the corner. Again, Jorginho's pass wasn't the greatest, and ball's been given away. Here's Jack Harrison. Skips past one. Drops it into Tyler Adams. Receives it again. Lovely turn. Overcommitted from Thiago Silva, but that pass is easily going to be gobbled up there by Edouard Mendy. Just overhit that one there, but Jack Harrison, nice little interchange there actually with Tyler Adams as they try to push forward. Don't know if anyone saw the Borussia Dortmund score yesterday, but they were 2-0 up with 89 minutes on the clock and ended up losing 3-2, 90 plus 5, which was fair to say is very, well, bad. And Chelsea have just got themselves a free kick there, and I must say, looking at Rodrigo and his reaction, I think I actually agree with Rodrigo on this one. I'm not sure there was too much in it. Reece James has turned his back, that's why I can see it because it's not shoulder to shoulder, but Reece James is the one who's turned his back, and Reece James as well now giving a bit of a push to Jack Harrison, just spitting his dummy out just a little bit there. Leeds fans behind, not looking impressed with the England international. Supporters on their feet, telling Reece James how they feel about him. Gallagher. Koulibaly. Can Chelsea get themselves a goal? They need to. Just like Wiki said a moment ago, the finishing hasn't been great for Chelsea. That's a good turn from Aronson. Can he look up and see Dan James? Instead, he has gone for Rodrigo. Rodrigo burst through, and that was probably the wrong decision to shoot there. Maybe he should have tried to pull that one back. Jack Harrison making a late run, or maybe the ball should have been rolled through to Dan James in the first place. But Aronson causing a few problems, creating space, and it's just so open at the moment. It's a fantastic game of football. I'm sure from a neutral perspective, this is the type of game you want to see as Koulibaly repeats the switch he did to Ruben Loftus-Cheek a moment ago and does it again. Even better. You can do it once, why not do it twice? But Ruben Loftus-Cheek's given the ball away there, and Leeds have given the ball back again. So many turnovers at the moment, so many turnovers in possession. Both teams putting on a high press and passing the ball quickly, but the amount of mistakes that are coming as a result of those high presses, and of course, like I say, the fast-paced passing is fundamentally what is stopping both sides really from progressing and getting too many opportunities on goal. Like I say, the most clear-cut of the opportunities, obviously Rodrigo's had a couple now, but most clear-cut opportunity falling to Raheem Sterling in the opening minute, and of course that offside goal, which was absolutely fantastic, to be fair. Afternoon to Curved. Good afternoon, large people. Is that what we're going to call my subscribers now, the large people? It sounds like a really crap band, I must say, Curved. But good afternoon to you. Hope you are doing okay. And Edouard Mendy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Mendy, what have you just done? It's 1-0 Leeds. Mendy. 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 Aronson scored. He's nicked the ball. What have you just done? How have you done that? How have you done that? Chelsea playing their way into trouble. The back pass, he had so much time. First touch is poor. Second touch gets it caught under his feet. Aronson nicks it, puts it in the back of the net. A rare mistake from Edouard Mendy, but we know he's not the best with his feet. And Aronson ready to gobble that one up there. Nice and easy for him. That's not going to look good on for Edouard Mendy. And, I mean, you can only blame yourself. He can only blame himself there. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Jesse Marsh is probably celebrating that a bit much, considering he's gone 1-0 up in the 30th minute. It's not like it's the 89th minute and he's gone 2-0 up, or, you know, he's scored the winner. But what a poor piece of play there from Mendy. And the thing is, you can't really say the what's the word? The back pass, it's not anything to do with the back pass. He has plenty of time. He could have just hoofed it. If he wanted to, he could just hoof it. And he just chooses not to. It's all on Mendy, that. It's 100% all on Mendy. And now Chelsea, well, they've just instantly fouled. Koulibaly has instantly fouled. And Koulibaly's already in the book, might I remind you. So this could go from bad to worse if Chelsea don't calm things down just a little bit at the moment. They do need to calm things down, because it could go really, really badly if they don't, you know, settle into this game now. They've made a mistake. Mendy's made a mistake. The Leeds fans are in full voice, but we need to book our ideas up, because we're the ones who are losing, and we're the ones who've caused ourselves problems once again, like we did last weekend. But this time, it's genuinely because of a mistake. Can Chelsea hit on the counter-attack, and can they get a good response here? We saw yesterday, didn't we, how great the response was from Southampton. We need something like that today if we want to progress. But Leeds United look absolutely on fire at the moment, and they don't look done. Ellen Road is getting behind them. They're being loud, they're being noisy, and they're creating chances for their side, and really putting Chelsea under the cosh at the moment. Curve says, I've always thought Mendy is always on the precipice of wearing a clown outfit on the pitch. What was that for? I thought they were giving a penalty then. It's a free kick from Sterling. What does he do? I'm not sure he does much, to be honest with you. I'm not sure he does overly much there on Rocker. For a defensive midfielder, he needs to be probably a little bit stronger. He's not even in the box, so I don't know why he's gone down quite like that. The referee has booked Raheem Sterling as well. So Sterling in the book and Koulibaly both in the book at the moment. Only new signings picking up yellow cards at the moment. But considering how good Chelsea looked in the opening sort of stages, Leeds were always there. And that's what I kept saying. The press looked good from Leeds. Chelsea was struggling to, you know, get past the press a lot of the time, and the final passes and the final touches weren't there, and they didn't need a final touch. They really didn't need a final touch, but surely this can't get too much worse. It's going to be a Leeds United free kick here. It's going to be whipped in by Jack Harrison, and What is the defending on that? What is the defending on that? Rodrigo's made it 2-0 from that free kick. It's a decent ball in by Jack Harrison. Headed. What is the defending? Someone needs to get them in there. How is Rodrigo? He's almost free. He is almost free. Edouard Mendy potentially should be doing better. It's a good header. But my God, what is going on, Chelsea? What is going on? What is going on, Chelsea? 2-0 down in 37 minutes and Leeds are absolutely rocking. It's going to take a miracle at this rate. It is absolutely going to take a miracle for Chelsea to get themselves back in this game, because this last 5 minutes has been truly abysmal. It's been completely and utterly shambolic, this last 5 minutes has. Chelsea are losing their heads once again, might I add, and causing themselves problems. It's so much of a panic every time every time a goal goes in, Chelsea go ooh and fall into panic mode all the time, and that's what they've done again. And Rodrigo, to be fair, it's a good header. He leaps well. He gets himself in front of Reece James. But my God, Chelsea, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You're killing me, man. You're absolutely killing me, boys. Again, though, it's the reaction from the goal. I was talking. We need a good reaction. We need a good reaction. And they don't have the good reaction. When things don't go their way, this Chelsea team just buckle. They proper buckle under the pressure. Mason Mount's going to whip in this corner. It's going to fall to Koulibaly. Can Sterling get it down? Into Cucurella. Cucurella tries to whip it across the box and it's cleared up the field there. And fortunately, there's no Leeds United attackers to get on that. But like I say, they need to put their ideas up. They need to concentrate. They need to keep concentrating because they switch off. That's good play by Loftus-Cheek. Pulled back to Cucurella. And a chorus of jeers go for Cucurella there, who's side-footed that one well wide. Well wide. That was an awful attempt on goal. Literally had the whole goal to aim at there and he's played it wide. He's played it wide. Unbelievable. When I said 2-0, I meant 2-0 Leeds Chelsea, says Batman. Hold that L, Sam, says Josh. I mean, I would wait. I'd wait a little bit before you get cocky, Josh. There is a lot of football still to be played. And as Scunthorpe United will tell you yesterday, and Borussia Dortmund will tell you yesterday, you can concede a lot of goals in the second half very quickly. I just went to fill up my water bottle, says Fraser. Gallagher causing his team to lose. A weak mentality player. Oliver the Great in the house. Don't worry, Sam. Leeds defence is like a cheap corner shop, always open. Precisely. There'll be opportunities, but it's whether Chelsea will take the opportunities. Because you saw then, Cucurella, what a poor attempt on goal that was. I mean, I would say on goal, but it wasn't even on goal in the end. It's Conor Gallagher gets himself a foul there as Christiansen, the Leeds right back. Chelsea are just getting fired up again, though. They're getting themselves overly fired up. When things go wrong for Chelsea, they resort to gamesmanship. Like you saw it last week. They resort to gamesmanship, and I just don't agree with it. I really don't agree with it. They need to up it. They can beat Leeds any day of the week. They can beat Leeds any day of the week, and that's no disrespect to Leeds. This Chelsea side is better, but as soon as they go a goal behind, Chelsea don't seem to have the mentality at the moment to pick themselves up, dust themselves down, and go right. We're gonna stick this one out, and we're gonna keep our defence clear. Is that going to be a foul on Conor Gallagher there? Yes, definitely. It needed to be because that was an awful tackle. That was a really, really poor tackle there on Conor Gallagher. Gallagher gets the ball and Rocker, I don't know why he's holding his face. He's the one who's clattered into Conor Gallagher there. That was poor, really poor. I don't recognise this Chelsea team, neither do I. Gallagher is a water carrier. I want to know something funny. I've been logged out of that FPL team and I think it's now on 49 points, I think. Fair play, fair play. Gallagher just isn't that good. One, he's not a pivot player. Two, he's an energy man with a poor passing range. Ooh. Big stuff, big stuff. We're just waiting for Rocker to get himself back to his feet after he clattered into Conor Gallagher there. He was nowhere near it. Had he gone in with a boot, then I tell you what, he would have probably he would have been sent off. But because he bodied him instead, it's not sending off. But yeah, I don't recognise this Chelsea side. It's really, like, the attitude. I've been mentioning it for almost over a year now, since that loss we had to West Ham United, that when we concede, we just don't get ourselves back into it. I can't see us getting back into this. It's going to have to be a much improved second half. Like, you look at it as well, where are Chelsea's goals coming from? Where are our goals supposed to be coming from in this game? Like, we're 2-0 down against Leeds, and there is no, like, Sterling looks alright, Mount doesn't look like scoring, Havertz doesn't look like scoring, and Reece James is playing at centre-half. The only man that actually bothers scoring goals for us, Reece James, is playing at centre-back. Like, what are we supposed to do? You look on the bench, where are the goals coming from on the bench? There's no striker. There's no man you can just bring on and go, yeah, alright, he's going to cause a problem. Good feet from Sterling as he tries to squeeze through. That should be a corner, is it? It is a corner for Chelsea. Mason Mount's going to go take this one out wide. But like I say, there's no goals. Where are the goals coming from here for Chelsea? Because I cannot see it. I really cannot see where the goals will be coming from for Chelsea. Unless we get a Mount masterclass like we did against Norwich in the first season where Mount played for Chelsea, I cannot imagine that happening. There's no doubt there's goals in the team, but there's no like spearhead. There's no one who you can rely on. That might fall to Sterling at the edge of the box. He tries to flick it forward towards Reece James, who managed to wander up the field. Might need him to do that a bit more often if we actually want to score. It's worrying that I'm having to rely on Reece James and thinking, oh, actually, Reece James might be the man to get us a goal here. Considering he's barely left his own half for the full game. Cucurella's had the ball dispossessed there from Rodrigo, who tries to get his fans to get behind the boys a little bit as they come under the cosh just slightly. Koulibaly. I think I saw Batman said, was it Batman who said he's playing average? Sometimes Chelsea look really good and sometimes they just look so poor. And, you know, first 20 minutes they looked alright, but again, like I said it about both teams. In the final third, the passing just wasn't good enough, and Chelsea have caused their own problems once again, giving away a silly foul at the edge of the box for the second, and Mendy made a mistake for the first. So I just put Reece James in my FPL, and this happens. God, Mount masterclass at stock right there, says Wiki. Not a great time to pitch for Mount against Ødegaard, is it? Not after yesterday's performance from Ødegaard. A great performance from him, to be fair. Koulibaly into the feet of Mount. Good play into Sterling. Back into Jorginho. Jorginho switches the play out wide towards Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It was just a bit behind him there, so Strauch manages to get his way in. Is he going to be able to find some room here? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he does. Drops it into Mason Mount. Mount. Can he make the right pass? Goes back to Reece James. Chelsea need a goal before half-time. 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Koulibaly into Raheem Sterling. Sterling cuts in on that right foot. Blocked just a little bit there by Aronson. Here is Jorginho once again. Back into Loftus-Cheek. And oh my gosh. That was not what we needed there, boys. That was not what we needed there. And they got their feet caught up between the two of them. Reece James and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and it's gone out for a Leeds United goal kick. Just over a minute left on the clock. This is not... God. It's not started well for me, has it, watching Chelsea this season? A draw, and now we're 2-0 down, and that's going to be an effort from the edge of the box as well from Aronson. But that time, equal to it was Edouard Mendy. I tell you what, Leeds look full of confidence. They've been great. They have been great so far, Leeds have. I won't deny it. They have been good. But the thing is, Chelsea have made it so easy for, like, the 2 goals. It was too easy. It was too easy. Oh, Mason Mount, what is that touch? A good touch there, and Mason Mount should surely score, but it was a hard touch to do. But there we are. That is half time, ladies and gents. That is half time, and it is Leeds United 2, Chelsea 0, and that is not what we are wanting. Definitely not what, well, Chelsea fans were wanting from a Chelsea perspective anyway. Really not the best of starts to this game. And despite actually putting in a decent performance in the first 20 minutes, as I mentioned, they just could not get the final third passes together. Neither side could. Neither side could get those final third passes together. And, of course, Chelsea are the ones, as always, who can't find the back of the net and have ended up conceding. It's so frustrating. It really is frustrating to be a Chelsea fan at the moment. It really is, because I don't know if anyone else sees it as I see it, and I call it as I see it sort of thing. But I don't know if anyone else thinks that Chelsea have this attitude problem. It might just be me who thinks that, but I think Chelsea have a real attitude problem. And it comes down to, fundamentally, a lot of these players thinking they're better than what they are and not willing to put in a shift when we need them. I think winning the Champions League has caused quite a few problems with this Chelsea team, because this Chelsea team, before then, were absolutely fighting. Maybe because Thomas Tuchel was a new manager and they were fighting for their spot. Maybe that was it. But now they've got confident, they've got comfortable. Oh, we've won the Champions League before. You know, we can sit back, we can enjoy, we can play against these teams, not really put a shift in. Oh, you've scored against us? That's fine. We'll come back and score 3. Unfortunately, that's not how the word works, Chelsea. And now you find yourselves 2-0 down at half-time. What do you expect? Honestly, what do you expect? Because it's been a really poor sort of, well, first 30 minutes, like I say, up until that first goal. Didn't do too much wrong. Mendy's made a mistake. All right, those happen. You know, Mendy is usually so good. But now, Rodrigo's goal is because you haven't switched yourselves on. They went into snapping people, making tackles, silly foul from Raheem Sterling at the edge of the box. And all of a sudden, Chelsea are 2-0 down. And as quick as, you know, in a blink of an eye, the game's turned on its head. And now you've gone from a game where actually 1-0 down, you can still get yourself in it, get yourself a point, potentially get yourself a win, and now you're fighting to keep a score down, because Leeds absolutely got the wind in their sails. Absolutely got the wind in the sails. Only time will tell what this second half's going to do. Let us know your thoughts on this first half. Do you agree with me? Am I being too critical of Chelsea, or am I being too nice on Chelsea? Should I be being more critical of that first half performance from the Chelsea Blues? Who knows? You've got to let me know, guys. You've got to let me know. I am just going to get my MacBook charger, as I forgot that it isn't on charge. So I'll be back in 2 seconds' time. I'll also fill up my drink. But let us know your thoughts so far on this first half. Right, ladies and gents, let us know your thoughts on that first half. A disappointing first half for Chelsea, a really disappointing half for Chelsea. But Leeds, like I say, they've made the most of their opportunities. They've done well in the first half. They've put Chelsea under the cosh a little bit. They've been able to break Chelsea's press and apply a press themselves. And Chelsea really, really getting themselves into a spot of bother. Just going to watch ourselves through some of these highlights and try and decipher really where it's all gone wrong. Mendy, we saw earlier on though, he looked so comfortable, didn't he, when Chelsea were playing the ball out, but Chelsea kept getting themselves into a few problems, and Leeds just looked so consistent with their press. And I'm just watching like one of the highlights from earlier on. That was when I think that's when I mentioned initially about Leeds giving away the ball in the final third, and they've consistently done it in this game at the moment. They really have consistently just given the ball away in the final third, and then as soon as they stop doing that, they've benefited so much. They really have benefited so much from just booking their ideas up and making sure that Chelsea aren't able to actually thrive, and that's what they're doing right now. That is what they are doing right now, making sure Chelsea can't thrive. And the ball was played back to Mendy there. Mendy's got so much time. That is all Edouard Mendy's fault. That the back pass from Reece James leaves him with plenty of time. He doesn't hit it the first time, doesn't hit it the second time. All he had to do, if he rolled it out for a corner on that first goal, no one would have complained. You haven't given away a goal. Just give away a corner. Do anything but that. That is the one thing we didn't want you to do there, Edouard Mendy, and you've done it. And it's so frustrating. And then from that second one, as we watch the second ball get whipped in again, it's good header from Rodrigo, but Chelsea's defending once again. Why are you allowing runners to run beyond you? Reece James there, I don't know. You've just let him run onto you, and I really don't get it. I really, really don't get it. So frustrating, so frustrating. Afternoon, Max. How are you doing, mate? How are you doing? Probably having a better afternoon than I am at this current moment in time. Oh, God. Oh, right. I guess we've got to talk about where Chelsea can improve. Let's have a look at the subs bench for Chelsea Football Club. Let's have a look at the subs bench, because they've got to make a change. They've got to make a change. Somehow, Conor Gallagher is the highest rated Chelsea player according to my app, and I'm not sure that is very correct. What does the last option say on the poll? It says about Huddersfield being massive. Huddersfield are massive, Leeds who? But it doesn't really work now. Yeah, that's why. Let's have a look. Chelsea's bench is Aspilicueta, that could potentially work. Move Reece James further forward. Take off Conor Gallagher. Move Ruben Loftus-Cheek inside. Maybe that's an option. We've got Ampadu. Probably not going to be an option. Chilwell could potentially again, because then you could move Cucurella to left centre half. Move Reece James up. Take off Conor Gallagher. That could also work as well. You've got Chukwuemeka. I think it's probably a bit too much to ask of the youngster to come on and put in a good performance. I guess the only man you're kind of looking at there, you've got Christian Pulisic, haven't you? And you've got the LeBron James of football, and you've got Hakim Ziyech. Maybe Ziyech could be the man. He had a bit of a purple patch last season. Maybe he could be the man to inspire some form of Chelsea comeback here. But you look at that Chelsea bench, and there's not enough depth. There's not enough depth in attacking areas. It's still that was a definite foul. That was a definite penalty in the West Ham game. Definite penalty. Absolutely chops down. Oh, was he outside? It's bang on the line. It's bang on the line in that other one. But yeah, there's just not enough depth for Chelsea to actually sit there and look at this Chelsea team and be like, yeah, he's going to come on and score 3-4 goals. There's just not that depth. And so you sat there and you're wondering, where are the goals going to come from? And I can't tell you that answer. I can't tell you that answer in the second half. I really can't. It's not like you could be like, oh yeah, well if we get a corner, we've got a big chance of winning it. Yeah, we do. But we have a small Thiago Silva's 6 foot. Koulibaly's a big lad. But I just don't know. I just don't know what Chelsea are thinking today. You cannot get yourself into this predicament. I'm sure Christian Pulisic could come on and put in a good shift, but even Pulisic himself hasn't been great in a Chelsea shirt for a long time. Has not been great in a Chelsea shirt for a long, long time. And of course, the better performances are definitely from the Leeds United players so far. Aronson, I've been impressed with him, to be fair. The attacking midfielder just sat in behind Rodrigo at the moment. That front four have been moving around nicely. Dan James is probably the only one who's been probably the quietest at the moment, Dan James. Rodrigo's been causing a few problems. Jack Harrison obviously got the assist and has caused a few problems himself. And of course, Aronson's got himself a goal, having nicked it right off the toe of Edouard Mendy. It's just very, very disappointing. Ian says, Sam, are you doing the City game, mate? I'm not today, unfortunately. I have other plans for this afternoon, so I won't be doing that, unfortunately, for you guys. But I'm looking forward as well, because Erin's coming back from a holiday, so I'm excited to see her. So spend some time with her this evening, and as well, hoping as well for a nice tea. I'm really, at the minute, I'm just really craving food, like everything, just anything fatty, I'll have it. Probably because I want to lose some weight. That's when you always want it, innit? That's always when you want it. But guys, you've got to let us know what are your score predictions for this second half. Can Chelsea get? Let's update the poll. Actually, can Chelsea get themselves back into this? Does anyone see Chelsea getting themselves back into this game? We'll update the poll actually and make it a little bit more interesting. See what you guys think. It's so frustrating at the moment. The Newcastle game, not the City game, says Aaron. Of course you say that, Aaron. Of course. God. I bet that I follow a Leeds United streamer, and I bet that chat is absolutely rocking at the moment. I bet they are buzzing. There's 1.2k people in there. God, that is the dream, isn't it? That is the dream. 1.2k people in the live stream. Oh my gosh. I wish we could get to that. One day maybe. I'm not as optimistic on that one, I'm not gonna lie. It's just so frustrating. Really is frustrating. I'm going to have to mute my own voice speaking here, otherwise I'm going to get feedback. Let's end this poll, as you guys have obviously started to change it to vote for Leeds United. We're going to end that poll, and we are... No one put Huddersfield a massive. God, not even Aaron said it. God, Aaron, you let me down. Right, what was I doing? Changing it. Let's change it, and let's think. Ask a poll optional. Will Chelsea pull this one back? Question mark. Yes, they'll win. Maybe to a draw. And nope, Leeds are gonna win. Right, there we are. Let us know your thoughts, guys. Let us know your thoughts. There's a poll, a new poll, updated poll for you. And voice crack. And let's just see. Let's see what you guys think. Update the poll. Because 41% of you, I know obviously some people have been voting now, and a little bit cheating before the game. Of course, that's when I asked that poll. But 41%, I'd probably say about 50, maybe even 60% of you guys before the game thought that Chelsea were going to be victorious, and unfortunately they just weren't. I can see that we're on 13 likes, so if you could smash that like button for us and do hit subscribe as well, that would be even better, and get ourselves up towards that like goal of 15. How do you feel about the strong Perisic to the Toon links? How is Perisic? Oh, Pulisic, is that who you're meaning? I was going to say Perisic is just signed for Tottenham, hasn't he? I'm assuming you mean Pulisic, Aaron. But he's also been linked with United, Pulisic has, so it doesn't surprise me. He's 23, so you've potentially still got time for a player to develop, but we've just not seen the best of Christian Pulisic. I keep saying this every single time. We just don't see the best of Christian Pulisic at the minute. And I wish lockdown Pulisic would come back. That is my thoughts on Christian Pulisic. Once you've voted on a poll, you can't change it on live stream. What do you mean? Yeah, I know you can't change it, but people were just coming in and then voting. That's what I was meaning. They were just waiting to do it. Like people who would join, like maybe someone like Aaron, who's just joined would just go, oh, Leeds are going to win, because that's what the poll is, isn't it? That's what I was meaning. Not just changing your vote. Let's see if anyone's actually put. We've had 5 votes, and nope, Leeds are going to win is currently dominating that one. So that's brilliant. Thank you. Thanks. Hopefully, I'm going to be very pessimistic and say it's going to be 2-1 to Leeds, but hopefully, I think that's what Max put as well, actually. But hopefully, they can be a bit more optimistic, and Chelsea will actually go for it at the throat. I'm not sure we've had any substitutions, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. I don't mean to be rude to Conor Gallagher, but I do think we need someone maybe with a bit more experience in that midfield for this second half before, to try and develop it, even if it's just moving Loftus-Cheek across and bringing in an extra defender. That would also be a more aggressive way of Chelsea playing, I'm not going to lie. Oh, God. Right, let's see what they can do then. Chelsea should go out with no fear now. I would prefer to be battered 4-0 and actually put in a good performance in the second half in terms of attack. They get hit on the counter-attack. I would prefer to see that. Would I do a thing like that? I can tell you would, Aaron. I can tell you would. Nope, he's rubbish. Should have dragged him off at 30 minutes. Cucurella, poor touch once again. Oh, God. Come on, Chelsea. I've already given up. I think I've actually already given up. Like, if I was watching this at the pub, I'd just be sat there and just complete... I don't know, I'd just be sat there and I just wouldn't be thinking about anything. I'd be sulking. The only reason I don't is because I'd literally be sat in silence. The only reason I don't is because otherwise it might make a fantastic stream for you guys. I'm sure you guys would laugh if I just sat there in silence, to be honest. But it's so frustrating. It surely can't get any worse, right? I think I did say that before the free kick before they scored. But it surely can't get any worse in the second half. They're not playing in like a lime greeny yellow. That's the only teams we lose against. Oh, God. Right. I've got to compose myself a little bit. Cucurella out on this left-hand side. He's going to whip it in. That might fall to Reece James at the back post. Can he get himself up? Chest control was a little bit poor. Took it wide. Drops it back into Loftus-Cheek. Good feet from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Finds Conor Gallagher with some good feet again. Loftus-Cheek pulls it back. Can Mount get it? Can Mount break it? It falls to Cucurella. Cucurella shoots! Oh, nope. Nope. Mount should have tried to hit one on the swivel, I think. It was just a little bit unfortunate the way it popped up for Mason Mount. I think it touches Aronson on the way through, and then Mount didn't quite have the time to do it, and Cucurella's shot on his weak foot was always going to be spannering wide. As Tyler Adams did pick up a bit of a knock there. He went to jump in for a header, ended up clattering Conor Gallagher in the meantime, and because he jumped over one of his own players, fell straight onto his back. Don't think it's the system. Think it's the players that don't suit it. I think it's the system, to be honest. The creativity is from those wide areas. Like you saw it last season, the creativity comes from those wide areas, doesn't it? When Chilwell and James were injured, Chelsea went straight down. It's important that Chelsea get a goal before like 60 minutes. Max just put that as well. I didn't even see him put that. But it is important that Chelsea start the second half as best as possible. Otherwise, it's going to be a long second half. Anything can happen though, ladies and gents, and that's the beauty of the Premier League. Aronson drops it into Rocker. Going to be switched there, looking for Christensen. That's a good flick on towards Rodrigo, who looks absolutely brimming with confidence, and Koulibaly does enough to turn it behind that time. You might as well just turn it home at this point, put it in the back of our own net. Might as well at this point. We've got one vote for yes, they will win, so whoever that is, I appreciate your confidence. I appreciate your confidence. You're as deluded as I am. Unless it is actually me and I've just accidentally pressed it. It could also be that. But it doesn't say that I've pressed it, so... Corner ball for Leeds United. It's going to be whipped in, an in-swinger from the left boot, but comes bounces around. Is it going to fall for anyone there? Strout was underneath it that time, headed down once again. Reece James is going to try and get himself on it. Llorente tries a little bit of a Berber turn, and Chelsea might be able to counter-attack here, led by Raheem Sterling. Sterling travels forward. Raheem Sterling rolls it through. Who's that going to fall to? Mason Mount. Oh, why did he shoot then? He didn't need to shoot then. Cut on your left foot there, Mount. Roll it across the box. Havertz plenty of space, but he didn't. Here is Sterling once again. Sterling into Cucurella. I'm pretty certain was offside in the first place. The referee's given a foul though from Christiansen, the Leeds right back, and it was offside. It was offside anyway. I thought he was. I don't know why. I don't know why Sterling played it to him there. He's got to use his brain a bit more there, Raheem Sterling. Got to use his thingy a bit more. I misclicked on that, so I'm sorry. I meant to be there. Lose. Wow, Fraser. Wow. You gave me a little boost of confidence. That was so mean. Thiago Silva picks up the ball into Koulibaly. Finds Mount, who's dropping into more of a 10 roll this time. Rolls it out wide to Cucurella. Cucurella rolls it back to Mason Mount. Mount, are we going to get a moment of magic from him? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Jorginho back into Cucurella. Cucurella rolls it back. Loftus-Cheek at the edge of the box. He's going to drive one. It might fall to Conor Gallagher. It's going to fall to Conor Gallagher, and that's blocked and saved over the line, but I think he was offside anyway. He was. We're getting so unlucky with some of these offsides, I must say. Max has got to go. I'll see you in a bit. No worries, Max. Chelsea are really missing Kovacic. They are. That Kovacic would be perfect for this. Would be perfect for this game completely. He's very press-proof. He'd be able to move the ball fast. He'd be nice and composed. Basically, the problems that we've had with Conor Gallagher in that first half, Kovacic is the complete deal. That is the player that Gallagher would have to be. I'm not sure that was a foul, to be honest, ref, as Jorginho fouls Tyler Adams, and at least said Thiago Silva then. That would have been funny. Yeah, I think we are missing him. Like I say, he's just the finished article of what Tuchel would want Conor Gallagher to do in this setup. And to be honest with you, I'm quite surprised Loftus-Cheek isn't in there. It does look like we've changed formation a little bit, as Loftus-Cheek looking a little bit more narrow, but Cucurella has just fouled a Leeds attacker as they were looking to hit on the break. See how Sterling had space and drew the defender in slid it into Mount. That's what you should be doing. Chelsea need to sign Frankie de Jong because similar to Kovacic. Yeah, but then when Kovacic comes back, we don't need. That's the thing. But the thing is, Chelsea's midfield get injured so often. It's only Jorginho who doesn't. Kante and Kovacic seem to be off in every other game. Often. What did I say? Injured every other game. That's what I meant to say. Loftus-Cheek isn't a good pivot either. No, he's not, Wiki, but he's better than Conor Gallagher. And he's got a frame, and he can use that body, and he can, he's more similar to the attributes that Mateo Kovacic has, and why Mateo Kovacic does well. And he has the added bonus of the fact he's 6'4", and he can roll the ball around, and he's very, very much a player that is calm on the ball when he gets the ball. And that's why I think that's why we need to take off Gallagher, even if it's just to bring on Chilwell, and then you can play, Cucurella left centre back, move Chilwell in at left back, and then you can move Reece James further forward, just to spice something up a little bit, because at the minute Reece James is so quiet, but here he is going down that right hand side. Conor Gallagher looks like he's playing in a bit more of an advanced position, so maybe Tuchel is trying to suggest, look, let's go to a 4-3-3 and play Gallagher a bit further forward. That might be the option for them. Sterling off the left, Mount just playing in behind, maybe a bit of a diamond, I don't know. But we need to change something here. Jorginho needs to leave. He's just so slow. He's good at dictating play, but he is just so slow, isn't he? He really is. Chelsea are going to need to keep fighting and try and get themselves something. Oh, that's a great ball through as well. Aronson finds himself in space once again, full of confidence, the American, but that pass forward wasn't great, and then he's just fouled Jorginho as Jorginho looked to clear. Havertz has been anonymous, agree. He's not been great so far, but I guess the whole of Chelsea's attack hasn't been great. Sterling, though, looking like I said it early on, Sterling just looked like the most confident out of them all. Definitely looks more like a 4 at the back for Chelsea at the moment. Thiago Silva and Koulibaly as the 2 centre-halves, and it looks more like the way that Liverpool set up with those wing-backs rather than the way that they have been playing. Looks more like a 4-1, 2-1-2 if you will. Bit of a diamond in midfield to try and, maybe a narrow diamond to try and get those wing-backs up. Full-backs playing how Liverpool's full-backs play, but here go Leeds once again. Dan James is going to whip this one across the box, and it's late and it was arriving, but it was eventually defended as Jack Harrison looked to pounce, eventually defended by Reece James there. But again, there's so much space for Leeds to manage to get their way through. It's unbelievable. Issue with Gallagher is he's still getting comfortable to the squad, unlike Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, potentially, but I still think Loftus-Cheek is head and shoulders above Conor Gallagher at this current moment in time. Aronson and Harrison over this corner for Leeds United. 56 minutes on the clock. As Max said earlier, Chelsea will need a goal sooner rather than later. Good flick there by Sterling. That's going to be driven in and blocked. I tell you what, good job someone got in the way of that, because I'm not sure anyone would have. Conor Gallagher looks to thread one through towards Kai Havertz. He's overhit it though, and Meslier was on his toes to move that one forward. Here's Loftus-Cheek once again. Come on, Chelsea, just move it faster. You've changed formation. You've changed to like a 4-1-2-1-2 with a diamond in midfield. Let's move it faster. Let's use those extra bodies in midfield. Mount drives forward. Can he see Loftus-Cheek, who's got a bit of space? He has, but he's played it behind him. Mount, lovely step over there from Gallagher. Gallagher, once again, is going to try and hit that one. Oh, that's a couple of yards wide there. It might have taken a deflection on the way through, but that is going a couple of inches wide. But I really want to know your thoughts on this, guys. What can Chelsea do? Look, they've changed to a 4-1-2-1-2. What can they do to try and up this? There's just no goals coming from anywhere. It just doesn't look like a goal is going to come whatsoever for Chelsea. No one looks like scoring. Mount's going to drill in a different type of free kick, but corner, sorry. But that was pants. That was completely and utterly rubbish from Mason Mount as it goes towards the edge of the box. Easily intercepted by Leeds. Here's Conor Gallagher, who's trying to drive the ball forward. Mason Mount once again going to whip that one in towards Kai Havertz. Half decent first touch, but Christiansen, the fullback for Leeds United, manages to get a touch on it. And Chelsea just look so one-dimensional. They don't look like they've got a plan B. And if this is plan B, have they nicked Ferrari's strategists? I don't know, because this doesn't seem to be the greatest of strategies to me. Bring someone new on, try get, I don't know, I'd take a Ziyech at this point. Play Ziyech in behind the striker. I don't care. Do something. Do something different. Please, 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 just do something different. Cucurella into Mount, who's going to look to switch the play, and that's a short pass anyway, and it's gone straight to Jack Harrison. And now Leeds might be able to counter-attack here unless Ruben Loftus-Cheek can get a foot in. Jack Harrison's done incredibly well. Well played, Jack Harrison. Down that left-hand side. Rolls it into Dan James. Dan James back into Rodrigo. And eventually Chelsea managed to get a foot in, but Rodrigo still has the ball. Here's Strauch into Tyler Adams, who's got acres of space to dictate play once again. I don't know how we've now got 4 people in that midfield, and Tyler Adams has still got that much room to look up, pick a pass and turn. Again, the problems with Chelsea. It's so stupid the amount of problems we are having in this midfield. Gallagher trying to put on a press, but Strauch's done a 1-2 and got past him. Honestly, 60 minutes on the clock. Tuchel, you've got to be making a sub sometime soon. Leeds are going to be the ones making the first sub here, Jack Harrison. Nice bit of play there to flip that one over the top of Reece James, and it's hoofed up the line there by Reece James that time, and Chelsea might be able to counter-attack, led by Kai Havertz. He's got Tyler Adams coming off across to cover him, rolls it into Mason Mount. Good ball there from Kai Havertz. Here's Sterling into Cucurella, good little back heel as well, whipped in towards Kai Havertz. It's gone all the way over the top and will come out the other end towards Conor Gallagher. Is he going to look to go to the byline? He is, but that cross was a poor attempt and it's hit Strauch and gone out of play for a throw-in for Chelsea. There is going to be a change. Adam Forshaw is coming on for Mark Rocco, or Mark Rowe, whatever you want to call him. Or Mark Rocco? I don't know. What do you call him? But he is coming off. Probably been one of the quieter of the players for Leeds United at the moment. This is so frustrating. So unbelievably frustrating. If you haven't already, guys, just while this substitution is being made, do be sure to smash that like button for us and do hit subscribe if you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. And if you are new or you are listening and you haven't been in the chat, do get in the chat and let us know your thoughts so far. Chelsea take the throw in, but they're going to have to come all the way back and rebuild once again. Koulibaly into Jorginho. Here's Thiago Silva. Jorginho once again finds Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek rolls it down the line to Reece James. James across the box, and that's good defending there. It had to be good defending there from Koch. Koch got in the way there, and he did really well actually, because I think it takes a flick off Llorente. I think Reece James might have been offside initially anyway, had it have gone in. It might just take a slight deflection off Llorente, but it was a good piece of clearing, and of course Koch did not know that at the time. Yeah, they've given it an offside now. I thought they would have done. Yeah, Chelsea have definitely shifted to a 4 at the back now. Let's see what Reece James can do from that more traditional right back position. I'm surprised Tuchel's not made a change though. He's surely got to make a change soon, right? He's surely got to make a change soon. Koulibaly nearly gives the ball away, but Jorginho's recovered the ball. Here's Cucurella rolling it down the line for Raheem Sterling. Sterling uses his body all right there to hold up the ball, but Adam Forshaw manages to get his first touch on the ball, and it cannons out of play for a Chelsea throw in. This is unbelievable. Let's see, you guys. Someone else has voted for. Yes, they'll win, even though I spelled they'll wrong. So whoever that is, I rate your confidence. I like it a lot. We are on 19 likes, so thank you to those guys who have liked. We've beaten our like goal. Can we try and go for 20 likes? That would be absolutely fantastic. Cucurella takes the throw in, rolls it down the line to Kai Havertz once again. Out of play for another Chelsea throw in. We need a period of sustained pressure now. We need a period of sustained pressure, but Leeds just seem to be able to. They just seem to be able to move the ball through us, like we're not there. Here come the substitutions. Here comes the backup brigade then. The LeBron James of football is going to be coming on in Christian Pulisic, who's rumoured to be leaving Chelsea to go to Manchester United. Don't know why he'd bother doing that. And that is for Conor Gallagher. So I imagine, unless Mount gets subbed off for Ziyech now, that I imagine we're about to see Mount move into a more central midfield position. And the other person who is coming off is Jorginho. Huh? What? What formation are we playing now? What are we doing? What is going on? What formation are we playing now? How have we just subbed off Jorginho? Does that mean we're playing Loftus-Cheek in the pivot by himself? When I said he was better than Gallagher, I didn't mean playing by himself as a single pivot. This is not what I was meaning. I was meaning play Jorginho behind and have Mount and... Oh my God. Unbelievable. Let's see if it works. Here's Reece James, who's going to take his effort. Oh, good save there by Illan Meslier. Really good save there by Meslier to push that one wide. Why have we taken off Jorginho? Like, he's not been great, don't get me wrong, but at least we've got someone in that single pivot. I don't know what formation we're playing. I think it's just chuck everyone at it now. I think that's the formation we're going to play. Mount whips in this corner towards Koulibaly, and that's straight into the hands there of Illan Meslier. I honestly don't... What formation are we playing? Like, I'd worked it out, and now we've just taken off... What? Who have we taken off? We've taken off Gallagher and... We've taken off Gallagher, and we've taken off Jorginho, and we've brought on Ziyech and Pulisic. I don't understand. Good defensive play there from Kalidou Koulibaly. What is going on? What is going on? Hopefully it's a touch of genius from Thomas Tuchel. That's all I can hope for at this moment in time, is that it's a touch of genius. But it doesn't look like it. It's baffling me because at the minute, Pulisic is playing central midfield and Mount is still stood up front. And why would you have that? Why wouldn't you move Mason Mount back, play him in midfield? If you're going to do that, you need to play Mason Mount in that midfield because he's the only one who will work back. But it's definitely Loftus-Cheek in a single pivot by himself at this current moment in time. Even play Reece James at the single pivot. I don't understand. Bring on Azpilicueta, play Reece James if you're going to do that. I don't understand. I really, really don't understand what the thoughts are behind this. Brighton have just gone 2-0 up against West Ham. So their woes, the woes of London, are continuing for today. Both London sides find themselves 2-0 down in their respective games against Leeds and Brighton, as Leeds tried to get Rodrigo in behind once again. Corner for Leeds United. Chelsea with 25 minutes now to try and get themselves back into this game. Try and get themselves a point at minimum. That will be the hope, won't it? A point at minimum. Come on, Chelsea. Come on. I've seen we've got another subscriber as well, so thank you to whoever that was who has subscribed. Whipped in by Jack Harrison this time. It's been flicked on. Can Sterling get there before anyone else? He can. His first touch is a little bit poor. He's been blocked off there by Tyler Adams, and referee says nothing doing. 2-0 Brighton. What a start for Brighton. Two wins and a draw. Yes, very good start for Brighton. Credit where credit is due. Ziyech has won that one back. And what? How did he get that angle on the pass? I don't know. Honestly, Pulisic is non-existent in this game already. Non-existent. Here he is. Turns out, what's he going to do with it now? Into the feet of Kai Havertz. Havertz into Reece James. Reece James pulls it across the box, and fortunately for Leeds United, I think Reece James was offside again. He was offside again. For God, it is so easy. It is so easy to stay onside. Just look across the line. Oh my gosh. Offside once again, but Christensen, it was so easy for Christensen as well, to be fair. So easy for Christensen. Can Brighton push for Europe with the way that Chelsea, Man United and Liverpool have started this season? Potentially. And even West Ham as well. Who's to say not? Who's to say not, eh? Strauch wins it back into Harrison. Here is Rodrigo. Here is Dan James. He's going to whip it across the box, and it's... Oh my God, it's 3. No way. Jack Harrison's just made it 3. It's unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. The defending from Chelsea today has been shambolic at times. Leeds have had it so easy. On the counter-attack there, Strauch. It's nice play, yeah, don't get me wrong. He's not offside. He's definitely not offside. Rolls it down the line. Dan James looks up. Plenty of room. First header should have been won by Chelsea. No one running in there. There's an appeal for an offside. I'm not sure if he is. Rodrigo gets a good touch on it, actually, to ping it back across the box. I'm sure we'll see a better angle from it this way. But Koulibaly doesn't even beat Aronson to a bloody header. Koulibaly, man, Aronson's not that tall. How? How have you not... It's unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. It's shocking, this Chelsea performance. And again, I'm going to say it's attitude. It is attitude. If they really had the grit between their teeth today, Chelsea, this wouldn't have happened. This would not have happened. And Dan James is going to be subbed off as well now. He's done his job. And they're going to bring on their new signing, whose name I couldn't say earlier, beginning, I think it's Sinterra or something like that. Siniterra or something like that, but I cannot pronounce it. And it's unbelievable. This is really shambolic from Chelsea. I can't even remember who scored that one now. Harrison, wasn't it? Jack Harrison. 3-0 down, 70 minutes on the clock. Unbelievable, Chelsea. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, God. Honestly, it could be a cricket score. It could be a cricket score. And I said earlier at the first half, you know, if we were 4-0 down and we'd actually put in a shift, I wouldn't mind. But we've not put in a shift. We've not put in a shift whatsoever. We really haven't. It's been a poor performance, this Chelsea. 30 minutes it was okay. 30 minutes it was okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay, Yusuf. This is absolutely shambolic. And now they're just getting showboaty as well, Leeds are. They're getting showboaty, and they can do, because they're 3-0 up against Chelsea. There was a no-look pass in there from Forshaw. A lovely flick round the corner from Siniterra, or whatever his name is. And then Harrison rolled it across the box. Unfortunately, Cucurella manages to get his foot in there. Chelsea are going to be lucky if they get Champions League football if they continue this way. They're going to be lucky to get Champions League football. And that's even with Liverpool and Man United and West Ham all having poor starts to the season. It's going to be so lucky if we get anywhere near. The only saving grace is that Leeds will be relegated at the end of the season. So that'll be alright. But, I'm joking. But, like, that's the thing. Chelsea just aren't looking like any... Oh, my God. Thiago Silva's just given the ball away. He's going from bad to worse here. Here's Forshaw. Drops it into Rodrigo. It's clipped forward there. Oh, my God. This is honestly utterly embarrassing. Utterly embarrassing from a Chelsea perspective. The first goal was embarrassing enough. And now to be 3-0 down, it's absolutely disgraceful. 3-0 down and we don't have a blooming central midfielder in sight. I genuinely cannot, like, I can believe it. I can believe it because Leeds have pressed and they've been defiant in their pressing and they've pressed well all throughout the game. They've pressed as a team as well. But Chelsea just looks so far off it. Ziyech, where is that pass going? Where is that pass going? Blooming heck. Was nowhere near anyone. Awful pass. Absolutely awful pass. Straight into the hands of Meslier. Ian went 4-0. I went 3-0 to Chelsea. Maybe I meant 3-0 Leeds at this rate. Jesus wept, man. And no surprises, the Leeds fans are in full voice. And it hurts me to say. It absolutely hurts me to say because this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. I don't even know who we've got next weekend, but whoever we've got next weekend, God help us if it's a top 6 side. God help us if it's a top 6 side next week. I mean, we've got Leicester next weekend, and Leicester weren't great, so maybe it might be a saving grace. But we've got Liverpool on the 18th of September, and we better book our ideas up before we host Liverpool in September. Because if not, Liverpool, even with their poor start to the season, they're going to walk the floor with us. Because this Chelsea side has just not been good enough today. It's been so far off it. It's been shambolic at times. Absolutely shambolic. Pulisic drives into some space, gets the ball dispossessed from Rodrigo. There's no movement in front of him. And why is Pulisic the man playing in midfield? Why has Mason Mount not realised, oh, actually, I'm a central midfielder, I'm going to play there? It's... Why are we playing Pulisic in... I don't understand. What is the logic behind playing Pulisic in central midfield? We needed a goal, yes. But don't play him in centre midfield. Sort the team out. Keep the team shape. Otherwise, you're just going to concede sloppy goals. And overload the midfield and cause ourselves problems because there's no space for anyone to move in. Here's Mason Mount. He's going to clip one over towards Reece James. James headers the ball back to Ziyech. I could do with a moment of brilliance from you, Hakim Ziyech, around about now. It falls to the edge of the box. It's blocked from from Mason Mount there. Mount wins it back, drops it to Havertz. Two flimsy little touches from Mount and Havertz. Somehow managed to get us the ball back. Did not even look fully committed to that. Ziyech is going to whip that one in. It's a good header. Well, it was a good run, even, rather than a good header by Christian Pulisic. And the Leeds player has gone down following that. Oh, my God. This is honestly shambolic. Just a collision of heads there. I hope Strout's okay there. He did just take the full brunt of the header from Christian Pulisic to the back of his head. I'm a defeated man. I am totally a defeated man. I don't know. I don't know. Chelsea need to sign a striker. Like, that isn't the root of Chelsea's problems, but it'll help. It'll help. And we need to stop saying that there's a Chelsea number 9 curse, because it's a complete load of utter tosh a curse is. No one picked the number 9 shirt because they thought it would curse them. Well, the funny thing is, you're playing equally as bad, if not probably worse, and you haven't got the number 9 shirt on. I'm looking at you, Kai Havertz. I'm looking at you, Christian Pulisic, and you don't have the number 9 shirt on. It's a complete, utter load of tosh, okay? It's just an excuse for crap centre-forwards, like Romelu Lukaku, to be like, oh, well, Chelsea's number 9 shirt, it's cursed. It's not. It's just an excuse. Chelsea need to be in the hunt for a striker by the end of this season. I have no clue why we've not looked at Ronaldo more seriously. Yes, he's 36. We have 2, if not 3, of the best wing-backs in the world. Why aren't we in there? Why aren't we looking at making a change? Mason Mount's just been subbed off. Ben Chilwell's coming on. And now I have no clue at all who's playing in central midfield, because we've taken off the only person who could relatively play in central midfield for a left back. It's an absolute joke, this Chelsea team. Thomas Tuchel needs to sort himself out. Rather than pretending to be the hero against Tottenham and winding up Antonio Conte, he needs to actually focus on what this Chelsea team are doing. Because 3-0 against Leeds United is the kind of result that in a few months' time will get you sacked. Because it's not been good enough. It really has not been good enough from Chelsea since the beginning of this season. It is unbelievable. We've got no midfielders on. God knows what this formation is. Ziyech is wandering around in the middle of the field. I have no clue where Ben Chilwell's now going to play, now that he's come on. What is the logic behind this? There's so much space in midfield because Loftus-Cheek is the only person who resembles a central midfielder on the whole pitch. And you sat there and you're thinking, well, yeah, no wonder Leeds are getting through. And no wonder Leeds are scoring goals. And the worst part about it is, they scored 2 of the goals when we had Jorginho on the pitch and Gallagher. Oh, what is that as well from that free kick, Ziyech? That was god-awful as well. We need to be in the hunt for a striker. I don't care. I really don't care if people think that the number 9 shirt is cursed. It's not a thing. It is not a thing. It's a mental thing. It's the same with Spurs. Spurs bottling stuff. It's a mental thing. You can get past anything. It is absolutely stupid to me that everyone thinks, oh yeah, I'm going to play badly. Like I say, they've played badly today, and surprisingly, there's not a single number 9 on the pitch. Do you see a correlation here? Because I don't. Sorry, I do. Oh wait, no I don't. Honestly, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Get us a number 9, get us a proper number 9, get us someone who's going to work hard for us. I would do anything to see Timo Werner on this pitch right now, because at least he would work hard. Lukaku just didn't have the balls. He did not have the balls to do it. He did not care about Chelsea Football Club. He doesn't care about the teams he plays for, other than Inter Milan. And he wasn't good enough. He wasn't a Chelsea signing. And Koulibaly's pass there was absolutely awful. You need another midfielder, another winger before a striker. No, we need a striker. We don't need another winger. We need another winger because we've got too many attackers at the moment. We need another striker because we don't have a number 9. We're reliant on Kai Havertz. We're reliant on Kai Havertz, who I'm sorry isn't a striker. He could play as one of those attacking midfielders, and I think he'd do all right. But he's just not someone who leads the line. He's not good enough. We've been scammed out of 70 million with Kai Havertz because of a goal that he scored against Manchester City in the Champions League final. Christian Pulisic isn't worth the 50 million we paid for him for a lockdown appearance where he decided to play well once against Liverpool. Like, Chelsea, it's not that there's a curse of the number 9. The investment has to be better. Seriously, cast your minds back. Can you think since, well, before Frank Lampard, can you think of a half-decent signing that Chelsea have made in attacking areas? Because I can't. I really can't think of a single... Oh, Sterling's missed that anyway. It wouldn't have mattered if Kai Havertz was onside anyway. But I cannot think of a single good attacking signing that Chelsea have made. It's about recruitment. Look at the players who you're buying and look at how you want to play. And if, you know, you're buying players and you're supporting a manager, say you're supporting Thomas Tuchel, number 1, buy the players that you want, and then when you buy him the players that he wants, give him an opportunity to develop his team. Why we haven't gone in for a striker completely baffles me. It completely baffles me. I just don't know where Chelsea are going to go from here. Jack Harrison and Aronson are both coming off. Click, Greenwood and Joe Gelhardt are coming in. Sam Greenwood, that is, are all coming on as well. It is... You can say we need a winger, Wiki, but fundamentally we've got 4 that should be able to play. We need a striker. We don't have one. We have Kai Havertz who's playing as a false 9. He's not good enough. He's not good enough to be the main striker in a Champions League side, in a side that wants to challenge for the title. Kai Havertz just is nowhere near good enough. And so, yes, we need a winger. But on this form, you can say that, you know, we need wingers. But realistically, on this form, you can say we need everyone changing. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. I haven't even commentated on the game for about 10 minutes because nothing's happened. Nothing has happened. God, is this what it feels like to be an Arsenal fan? Because I'd absolutely hate it. Jesus Christ, or at least it was last season anyway. Oh my God, what an awful performance this has been from Chelsea. You won't see me for 3 to 5 business days, I tell you what. It's been shambolic. And Kalidou Koulibaly, brilliant. To cap things off, ladies and gents, Kalidou Koulibaly has been sent off. And that will be the end of the game, I think. that will be the end of this, to be honest with you. It's shambolic. Absolutely. What is the need? Why have you... Gelhardt doesn't even have the ball. Gelhardt doesn't even have the ball there, and Kalidou Koulibaly has brought him down. Koulibaly, you are a Champions League level centre-half. We're 3-0 down away from home. The last thing we need is you getting yourself a one-match ban for the game against Leicester when we're struggling to fill out a defenders anyway and midfielders anyway, for you then to go get yourself sent off in the most stupid fashion possible. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It is god-awful. This has been... If Chelsea even score, it will be a minor miracle. If Chelsea even score, it'll be a minor miracle. Because we don't have a blooming central midfielder on to be creative. Right. Afternoon 2, High Row says Chelsea looked good against Spurs and scored twice. Why aren't they putting in as much effort against Leeds? They just switched off. They switched off. They conceded. They spat their dummies out again. Like when they conceded that first goal, they went to snapping Leeds because that's the only way they know how to play. That is the only way Chelsea know how to play. Oh, finally we bring on Azpilicueta. Brilliant. Yeah, go on, bring on another defender. That's going to help, considering we've not got a single bloody midfielder on the whole pitch. But, like, that's the thing. They scored, Chelsea did what they did against Spurs, where they decided, oh yeah, let's crunch them for no apparent reason. Sterling gives away a silly foul. All of a sudden, you're 2-0 down. Chelsea have lost their heads once again. They've lost their heads once again. Jake Crumps just put, as a delusional United fan, I feel like I have to laugh at this. You do have to laugh at it. Sterling's coming off for Azpilicueta now to complete the completely random formation that we are playing right now. Oh yeah, bring on another defender for the final 4 minutes now that Koulibaly's been sent off. Even though I was asking for Azpilicueta to come on earlier so we could play, so we could move Loftus-Cheek inside alongside Jorginho and then play Cucurella as wing-backs with Reece James. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wingers can't create if a decent striker isn't there to finish it. It goes around in circles. It really does, Ian. It goes around in circles. Because at the end of the day... And, oh my God, they're annoying me so much because of the amount of times they're offside. Stay onside. It's like the one thing you have to deal with now. There's one thing you have to deal with. Stay on bloody side. That's all you need to do, man. All you need to do. It's absolutely frustrating. I don't even think I could give a man of the match here. I really don't. Gallagher was crap. I'm sorry, he was. He was absolutely awful. We spotted it early on. He looked like he was panicking, and he panicked all game, really. That's why I wanted him subbed off. We got him subbed off, but we decided to bring on 2 attackers when we're 2-0 down and we don't have any structure to our midfield. Like, why would you do that? You need the structure in your midfield. That's how teams grow and that's how teams play. The best teams will play through their midfield and have that structure and use it well. Why would we do that? We've then just ended up with, for the last, well, between the two, well, the third and the second and the third goal, sorry, we've ended up, yeah, Tyler Adams man of the match. To be fair, that's probably true. But I just can't think of Leeds players at the minute because I'm too annoyed at the way that Chelsea have played. Tyler Adams has been absolutely everywhere in this game. He's battled the midfield and he's won the midfield battle easily. Admittedly, for the past, 35 minutes, it's been nice and easy because there's been no one stood in Chelsea's midfield. It's been like playing a 5-5. I just don't understand what Thomas Tuchel was thinking today. And I don't understand why Chelsea aren't able to see that they switch off, that they don't give it a good go. I feel like I'm the only Chelsea fan who has been saying this, that Chelsea switch off when they score and they don't have the guts and the determination to get themselves back in it. And it's clear to see. Like I say, the first goal went in. Okay, Mendy makes a mistake. We all make mistakes. I can let him off. You know, he made a mistake. It's a shame, but keepers make mistakes. They're the last line. We'll live with it, But then it's about that response. We saw with Southampton yesterday. How did Southampton respond when Maddison's free kick went in? They responded brilliantly. They ended up scoring 2 goals. Che Adams, fantastic. But today, Chelsea were nowhere near that. They went, all right, Leeds have scored. Let's snap them. All right, yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Let's snap them. And then Sterling gives away a silly foul on the edge of the box. The marking's poor from that. And then, you're 2-0 down, away from home, with the fans all behind you, and the fans all, all ready for this. All ready to get behind their team. Second half just wasn't good enough. They came out, they didn't look like they had the grit in their teeth, and they didn't look like they were ever going to score, Chelsea. I mentioned it. You look at that bench, who's going to come on and score? And then Tuchel's made the wrong substitutions at the wrong times. The first substitutions of Ziyech and Pulisic had to come earlier, but I wouldn't have brought on Ziyech and Pulisic. I'd have taken off. I'd have absolutely taken off Conor Gallagher. I don't think he had a good game. It's going to be a massive learning curve for him. Don't think he had a good game whatsoever. But realistically, Chelsea have been so far off it in this game. So far off it. And again, it comes back to mentality. And like I say, Tuchel needs to see that. Surely Tuchel can see that it's something to do with mentality. Surely Tuchel can see that. I've just had a message as well on Facebook from Cookie who says he's listening to you on YouTube. He says that we need Ronaldo. We need something just to put the ball up to. I don't care. I really don't care. And I've got to say I disagree with Wiki. I think the striker is the most important thing. We've seen that Ziyech can do it. We've seen Pulisic can do it when he wants to. But we haven't seen Havertz at his best. We really haven't. We really haven't. Or we need to change formation. We need to do something. Because there's no creativity other than from the fullbacks in this Chelsea side. And when they put the ball in the box, there's no one in there. And that's what a striker does. Stands in the box. Tuchel's got to book his ideas up. He's got to lead by example. He can't be doing what he was doing against Antonio Conte. I know I laughed and I know I joked. And, of course, it is a little bit comical. It is a little bit comical. Thiago Silva's really holding his shoulder funny there. He's really holding his shoulder funny there. That kind of looked like it might have been dislocated. That was a really sort of awful landing for Thiago Silva. I don't know if he was just leaning his shoulder forward because it was in pain, but it kind of looked dislocated. But it's so disappointing. So disappointing for a Chelsea fan. They need to revamp their squad because there's too many players that suit too many different styles. And again, you go back to that, you say, yeah, they all suit different styles. But that's because Chelsea don't consistently keep a manager in. If you keep one manager there, look at Jurgen Klopp now. When he got there, he was using square pegs in round holes and they finished 7th. All right, next season, they're bringing Mane. They're bringing a couple of other players. And all of a sudden, you're like, I can see this team taking shape. I cannot see this team taking shape. Tuchel has been in charge now for a season and a half. And I'm not sure who were his signings, who were Todd Bowley's signings. I'm not sure. Can someone please tell me who Thomas Tuchel has actually gone, yeah, I want him? Because the signings seem to be completely random. Don't get me wrong, Sterling's a fantastic player. But I had no clue that we were ever going to sign Raheem Sterling. It just came out of nowhere. And that is it. That is full time. Like, that is the thing fundamentally. It is so blooming annoying. It really is. And to be honest with you, I'm just going to turn that off because I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. Chelsea have embarrassed themselves today. Absolutely embarrassed themselves today. And I tell you what, you know, you can talk, you can say, oh, there's all these. There aren't many strikers out there. No, but we need to do something. We have to do something. We have to do something. It's got to be better, Wiki. It's got to be better. Why we didn't put in more of a fight for Gabriel Jesus? We tried to sweep him for him. Why didn't we put more of a fight in for him? Any of them. Just anyone. You know, Haaland was a steal. You might as well give him the option. Be like, yeah, all right, do you want to come here? You might as well. You know, it's no public shame losing out to Manchester City. It's no public shame losing out to Arsenal. These are big clubs. Jesus was always going to go to Arteta. He always was. That's the thing. But Chelsea, they just don't look like a complete unit. They really don't. And it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. Ronaldo, if you have him, he would be a quick fix. I'm not sure he'd be the right thing. But he's someone who will get, he will score you 15 goals a season. And that's what Chelsea need. Chelsea haven't had that for a long, long time. And Chelsea haven't had a star-class, top-quality attacker since Eden Hazard. And today, you look at that performance, midfield-wise, Kante and Kovacic, both injured, look completely out of their depth. Completely out of their depth with Chelsea's midfield. Loftus-Cheek was all right, but he was playing at right wing-back. Why we're doing that when we've got Aspilicueta on the bench is beyond me. We need another centre-half so that Reece James isn't playing at right centre-back. Don't get me wrong, Reece James, this isn't a dig at Reece James because he is a good right centre-back. But his best position is a right wing-back or a traditional right-back so that he can get up and down that right-hand side. And so you go back to this creativity. There was no creativity down that right-hand side today. Cucurella was okay today. He wasn't fantastic. He'll still be learning the way that Chelsea play. But it's so frustrating to sit there and see players playing out of position when we've got all the money in the world. We literally do. We made another signing of a winger when in reality I would have much preferred just to have kept Timo Werner, stuck out with Timo Werner for another year, rather than going in for Raheem Sterling when we've already got however many players already on the bench. Like, that's the thing. We let Rudiger go. We let Christensen go. Christensen, all right, yeah, he wasn't great towards the back end of his Chelsea career, but he did a job. And, it's a couple of big games, particularly FA Cup final, I believe, didn't have good games. But you need players there. We've just let Malang Sarr go. Trevor Chalobah's looking like he's going out. What have Chelsea got to do? What have Chelsea got to do? Because they need to sign people. Koundé went to Barcelona. How have we lost out to Barcelona? Barca won't pay their own players' wages and we're losing out to them. I don't understand the logic behind Chelsea Football Club at the moment, and I don't understand how we haven't got the squad depth. We've gone from having one of the most best squad depths in the whole of the league, and people going, wow, Chelsea, look at all the talent they've got, to all of a sudden sitting there and today going, where are the goals going to come from? And that is it. There's no goals here. Don't get me wrong, Leeds United, they played very well today. I'll give Leeds credit where credit is due. Obviously, the press from Aronson for the first goal forced Mendy into a mistake. It's one of those. They happen in football, don't they? We see them happen all the time. They do happen. And it's just a learning point, and it's a learning curve, if you will, for Edouard Mendy. He won't quite take it as risky. Maybe next time he'll just punt it up the field and hope for the best. And, it's a bit annoying. But the second goal, like I say, Chelsea's problem, Chelsea's fault. Leeds United just did their job. They started well after that second goal. Chelsea started snapping them. Raheem Sterling gives away a silly foul. And then the third goal, I guess they just hit on the counter-attack, didn't they? That's all I can really say is they hit on the counter-attack. They chose the time to go forward, and they chose it well. How was Mason Mount just got a 7 match rating? Are you kidding me? Have you watched the same game as me? Bloody hell. A 7. Clearly not watching the same game as me because that was absolutely shambolic. But, what a way to ruin your weekend, eh? What a way to ruin your weekend. The thing is, what's really going to annoy me, and I totally agree with Roy Keane about this, and I think Gattuso said it as well. I think they've said similar things. It might have just been one or the other. But footballers of the modern era, they will lose a game, and they will sit there, and they'll go on social media, and they'll comment and be like, yes, we're fighting, we'll be better next time. It's all right saying that, but do it on the pitch. You said that last week against Spurs. That second half against Spurs last week has caused today. It has caused today. And I'm 100% certain it has. Because as soon as the tough times kept coming, Chelsea just went, yeah, all right, we're just going to fold over once again. We'll start trying to kick leads. We'll give away silly fouls. And all of a sudden, in 5 minutes, we'll find ourselves, as you can see below me, 2-0 down and then eventually 3-0 down. It's just frustrating. It really is frustrating. Like, I just don't know what to say anymore. I have barked on about this so many times. And I understand, I'm a 22-year-old person who's trying to do YouTube and is sat there in his parents' house trying to, create some content. But surely I can't be the only person seeing this right in front of me, that Chelsea, their attitude isn't good enough. Surely I can't be that only person. Surely. Because there's clearly something wrong there, and something that Tuchel isn't addressing. And it's not like it's happened once, all right, yeah. I've been saying this since West Ham game last season, and I'm going to continue to do it until I genuinely believe that when we go a goal down, that we have the fight and the gut and the determination in our stomachs to turn a game round. And that's... I don't know. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. Congratulations to Leeds. That was, like I say, it was a good performance from Leeds today. Did what they needed to do, and made the most of Chelsea when they were really at their worst today. And believe me, at times they were at their worst. It's been a difficult game. Hopefully you guys have at least semi-enjoyed it. If you could, smash that like button and do hit subscribe as well if you are new. That would be great. That might actually put a smile on my face for this afternoon. But, oh my God, how poor has this been? How poor has this been from Chelsea? I genuinely don't think I've got anything else to say now. It's just so frustrating. So frustrating. And I don't know what to make of it. And all I know is, if Chelsea want top four, they're going to have to buckle their ideas up. They're going to have to do so much more. So much more. Right. On that note, I think I'm going to leave you guys there. Hopefully you have enjoyed the stream, even if you are a Chelsea fan who is as irritated and upset by the result and by the performance that we have seen as possible. As always, do be sure to smash that like button for us and do hit subscribe. I really hope you have enjoyed, because believe me, I haven't. Just before we go, how did West Ham United get on? They did lose as well, so not a great day for the London clubs. Not a great day. Definitely not a great day. Jesus. 5 goals conceded between West Ham and Chelsea. That's not great, is it? Not great whatsoever. Either way, I'm going to head off. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Like I say, make sure you stick around on the channel. If you are new, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, I'm going to have to press the end stream button. Always a little bit awkward, this end bit, because I can't quite reach it. As always, guys.